Now, New Brunswick is 90% white. At least. I grew up in Rexdale, right off Albion on Sanigan Road. My mom and sister. And it was terrific. You go out and there's sports every day. There's wall tennis, road hockey, soccer. Every day it was something different. And I had black buddies, Indian buddies, Asian buddies, white buddies. It was a melting pot. It was all about sports, and I loved every single sport there was. Then I'm in grade 6 and I get a paper route. And I'm going down the road and this big white man grabs me up. And he's got it in there and can't flinch, and it's dripping on my shirt, it's dripping on my new sneakers, and he's saying stuff to me, and he knows my apartment, he knows I have a mom, my sister, and the deal was I got to deliver the papers on this street but not collect any money. And this guy's the leader of the KKK around there, which I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I was in grade 6. And I kept delivering the papers, paying for the papers myself and not collecting any money. And we didn't have any money, and I had like, my net worth was like $80 or $90. And after 2 or 3 weeks, I'm running out, like I'm about at the end. And I'm delivering a paper to Buddy's house. And he's been murdered. And they set his house on fire. I just dropped my bag of papers right there, and I retired from the Toronto Star effective immediately. I was out. And then I shut her down. I never went outside and played with the boys again. I didn't play like I was the top athlete in all the sports at school. I was done with all that. The teachers, the principals, they're all giving me the business, like, for not participating. I was done. The only thing I would do is I would go out into the parking lot at our apartment building and shoot pucks at this steel fence for years. I never told my mom about this. She's up there now. I never told my sister about this. She's over there in Nova Scotia. I just suppressed it. I just buried it in my system. And the only reason this is coming up right now is because a lot of shit's going on in the world. And I have to make this video called White Dudes. And this memory has come up. And I'm so bottled up with my shit that I need to push out, and my medium is through writing and film, but I have to establish myself. And now, in filmmaking, there's a lot of programs out there for funding, but not for me. If you're a white, straight dude, there's no funding. If you're in all the other groups, there's funding. And I get it. I understand it. It's all good. I don't harbor any resentment for that. Like, I'm going to figure this shit out on my own. And then I'm thinking, it's like, Shutdown that I wrote is actually, I wrote about my real experiences out here in New Brunswick, and it's 90% white, but in these facilities out here, it's it's all white dudes. Like, you very rarely come across somebody of color or even women. And like, my notes for the sequel for Shutdown are, I've had broader exposure because out west there's women everywhere, and those are going to be crazy stories, and there's people of color and stuff. But I'm thinking it's like, I'm screwed here because everything's supposed to be inclusionary, and that's not what Shutdown is. It's about me and my hockey buddies, basically, that are crazy bastards. And I've already rewritten it 75 times, and it's like, do I have to rewritten this politically correct to be inclusionary? And it's like, I can't. It has to be what it is. I have to make my name off this. I'm not in this for the money. I'm making my name off this, and then I will have the power to do things to help society better. I got buddies that work in the RCMP in Saskatchewan, and all this stuff coming about the Indigenous stuff that's happened. They don't know anything about that. I've never heard anything about that. It's troubling. I thought the US was crazy, but Canada has its problems too. And this guy that drove through the Muslim family in London, Ontario, like, racist. I believe it's a learned behavior. I was at the Rossay Commons last year with my daughter, and I get her once or twice a week. And there's another white girl out there, a year older than my precious Marley, and she's bullying Marley. And I'm watching, and Marley's, she's staggered by it, and so am I. Like, if I see her, like, it gets me, but I know I can't intervene because I'm not going to be there for these times, and he has to learn to cope and stuff. And I see her dad in a parked truck over on the street, and he's bullying his daughter. So she's learning bullying because she's getting bullied. And it just registered with me, like, I think that's what's going on. Like, it's a learned behavior to bully or be racist, I think. And it tried to impart on Marley that if somebody's bullying you, just to think, like, there's something going on there, that they're possibly being bullied themselves and stuff, and I don't know what to do. Like, be kind to them and just learn that this is why this is going on. So all this Indigenous revelations, bullying, racism, like, I think it needs to be incorporated into the education curriculum so our children can learn about this, and maybe things can evolve and get better. And everything I do every day, like, it's hard, is for the betterment. I want to be a good citizen, and I want to be the best daddy that I can. I'm just trying to make the best movie, or one of the top 10 best movies in the history of this fucking planet.